The first step in making a squashy bus is selecting the bus you're trying to make. This is an important step because the complexity, design, and number of colors will greatly affect how long the project will take. For this one, I was insistent on making a Foothill Transit Proterra, which is every bit as complicated as Foothill Transit's other buses, except it also has this green part on the back, and a rear window. There's also this leaf looking thing which I decided to omit because it looked weird the way I put the green under the window. But we can take creative liberties here. Regardless, this was way more work than if I chose something easy like Go Transit in Oshkosh, or even Foothill Transit's old livery. The next step is to get a photo of all 4 sides of the bus and draw a grid pattern over it. Remember, the left and the right aren't symmetric as there's usually doors only on one side. The grid is to assist in tracing the design onto a full-scale piece of paper because breaking it into little chunks makes it easier to preserve the proportions, opposed to doing it freehand. You can also use graph paper for this part, but it isn't totally necessary. Here I'm cutting out the side pieces with an extra ½ inch around the edges. This is for seam allowance. When the sides get stitched together, the extra ½ inch will get consumed when flipping the whole thing inside out. On the sides I forgot to leave enough gap between the two, so this whole part will be the left piece, this whole part will be the right. We can now cut out the main pieces. Here I've got some fleece, which is basically just a very soft form of plastic, and is available in a lot of colors. I like making the bottom of the bus gray, the front, left, right, and top will be white in this case, and the back will be green. Here I'm checking the pieces with the pattern to make sure I cut them out the correct size. The top and the bottom don't really need a pattern since they're blank, so I just check those with the length of the side and the width of the front. Now it's just a matter of cutting out a bunch of little pieces and aligning them with the pattern. One thing to keep in mind with fleece is there's usually a fuzzier side, and that's the one we want to face outward. I found a few of the swooshes were too complicated to cut out just by looking at the pattern, so I made a separate smaller pattern by tracing the outline and cutting it out. To begin a stitch, I tie a double knot on the inside, and then I'm doing a back stitch around the whole edge. There are many types of stitches, but this one has been reliable for me. Back stitching means you go backwards a little bit each time the thread comes up, which kind of locks it in place as you go. We're at the point where having a sewing machine will help save tons of time. Since this was my smallest squashy bus yet, I challenged myself to do it all by hand. But it still took like 15 hours. And with hand stitching, inevitably the thread might get tangled up, and you have to cut it and retie it in the same spot, which is annoying. Now that we've got all the pieces of fabric sewed on, it's time for some embroidery, which is basically just using a thicker piece of thread to do the designs. Pretty much all the parts that were too small to be a full piece of fabric, like the lines and the headlights, the taillights, the vents, those are all going to be embroidered. Like on the Beach Cities Transit one, all the surfboards were embroidered, and the taillights and the route sign. Alternatively, if this were scaled bigger, you could probably use ribbon for the stripes, or some kind of shoelace material, but this is small enough that a few layers of thread will do. On this side I actually cut the green piece to be the Foothill logo contour, but I realized that's not really necessary as it's going to go over with thread, so this one's just more or less a parallelogram. So let's get into it. We start by tying a knot in one end of the thread and then just pull it through and it won't come out. And it catches on the other side. So we need some mountains. Alright, I was kind of too in the zone to film any of the embroidery, but it's pretty straightforward. Just put thread where you want it to. Try to keeping the stitch length short so there's not like big long strings hanging off of it that can get loose. You can actually embroider it after it's been assembled and stuffed, which is what I did on the Beach Cities Transit one, but I was having difficulty hiding the start and the end of the stitch on the inside, so that's why there's like chunks of thread hanging off of some of these, like here, because I had to tie it and secure it on the outside. But this time, everything's hidden on the inside. And now to assemble it. The important thing to do here is make sure everything is assembled in reverse, basically. So it's going to look like this. You're going to stitch it like this. And the way I've been doing it is start with the sides and the top, then put the front on, then put the back on, but leave the bottom unstitched so you can stuff it. put the stuffing in and then do that fancy stitch to hide it. One embroidery technique I do want to demonstrate is how to make an arc, because that comes in handy for doing the headlights and if you were to embroider the numbers and letters. Instead of just going with a straight line like this, leave it a little bit loose, as in like that's the half circle you want to make, and then come up here and then immediately over it to lock it down in the arc shape. And there you have a half circle. And then to complete the circle, just do the same thing on the other side. There you go, you have a circle. That's one way you could do the round parts of numbers, round lights, and so forth. On this one, I wasn't really using that technique. It was just a bunch of little straight stitches, and I don't think it came out as good. And like here, you can see the numbers aren't as legible. Another consideration is the shape of the bus. Found that if you're trying to make a rectangle, it's going to come out looking like a blimp. This one, I want it to be aerodynamic because the Eldorados have that really curved windshield. So the actual side was cut with that contour. The front and the top were actually one continuous piece of fabric and had to pin it together in the sewing machine to sew it together at that angle. But even with the rectangle, the reason this one has so much character is because this is actually 3 pieces of fabric stitched together like this in the front, opposed to just one piece, where if it was one, it would just look like this with everything all stitched on top. So that's another way you can get some funny shape out of it. That's why when you squash this one, it looks like that. But for the small one I'm making, it's just going to be straight one piece. Now on the sewing machine, I would want to have this pinned together as I'm stitching it, but by hand you have more freedom. It's not going to move all over the place. I put this clamp on it kind of temporarily. And then just a long straight stitch. Trying to make a short stitch length because this is probably the strongest one you want. And not getting tangled mess on the first freaking stitch. And we started with about a 1/2 inch seam allowance. I'm only going to do about 3/8 because I realized some of the stuff would be too close to the edge if I did 1/2 inch. We're going to have a squashy bus inside out with a little gap in the bottom to help turn it right side out and for stuffing it. Here's the dramatic reveal. Squashy bus! Now I realized I forgot to buy stuffing for this project. Fortunately, we have some volunteer organ donors who are going to provide with my handy seam ripper here. Seam ripper, it's like Control Z for sewing. The last step is to do an invisible stitch to close the gap at the bottom. This is where you stitch between the 2 edges that are being folded into each other, and if done right it should be invisible. And then tying it off, and it's done. One design feature I added to this particular squashy bus was little lugs on top to clip it to my bike saddle, since I've been informed that hanging cute plushies from your bike is a thing now. All in all, I think this came out pretty good considering how challenging of a design this was. One thing I could have done better was the spacing between the lights on the bumper, and the windshield could have been bigger. But it's cute, it's squashy, and I love it. Squashy grapefruit, look at that bus. It's so soft. It's so squashed. You want to take it for a ride? BCT, baby.
I support Gillig Gang. Hashtag Gillig Gang on Twitter.